All right, it is summer, and you know what that means. I'm undoing a button, and I bought some video games. Boy, oh boy, do we have some things to go over, because I just got back from too many games out in Philadelphia, which was a great time, and I will always say this, but if you were there and you stopped me, we chit-chatted, talked about games, if you were at the Spawncast panel and signing, it was amazing. Always humbling. I will always stress this. Let's just talk games, show me what you bought, it's always a fun time. So I, of course, have my own pickups to now share with the rest of the classroom, and I have some things that I was accumulating from buying stuff online just here and there and whatnot. So we've actually got a good mix. And it's also a good time to get into the confessional and go over the Yu-Gi-Oh addiction. So yes, I've got some cards here from the top-down view. Since I last spoke to you, we had the big Rarity 4 set come out, also known as Quarter Century Stampede. Me and Terrell, of course, being typical D-Gens, we went through an entire case. Here are some of the big standout pulls that I was pretty happy to see, which is Quarter Century Secret Rare Feet Ash Blossom. You'll love to see that if you're, if you're into it. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but she looks very young, so that's very, very questionable for a lot of folks. Got that Dark Magician Girl. I mean, you're happy to see pretty much any DMG in Quarter Century Secret Rare. We did get one Magia. It's crazy that it's one Magia per case. I got the Prismatic Ultimate Rare. I would have liked to see either Platinum or a Collector Rare. I actually prefer Collector Rare, so I got the one that I didn't want, but hey, it's a Magia. And then I love this Blue Eyes art. I had actually mentioned this in the GameStop Retro video when me, Terrell, and the cashiers were all just like BSing about Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm like, oh, this is the art I love. Terrell doesn't like this art, but I think it's just so goofy and fun. And so I was like, I was so hyped when I pulled this card, and we're just sitting there back and forth going through all the packs and whatnot. But okay, enough with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. Yeah, we got a lot of loose things to go over. Tell you what, we'll just knock this one right out of the way, because TMG happened right near the launch of Death Stranding 2. Now, John, of course, my Click R3 co-host, has no integrity, and he buys the digital early access version right away, just so he can talk about it on the show. Now, you might think that's professional. I say boo-hoo to that because I had to wait the 3 days to get a physical, but then we left out of town, right, for TMG, so I couldn't actually get it until coming back home. So I will be starting this very soon after I am done filming this, and that is actually what is going on right now, because it's installing, gonna film this, gonna edit, gonna start my playthrough. So that's what I got going on there. And that's outside of TMG, mind you. So the actual TMG pickups. Let's go over this big guy right here, because it's not often I get to show you little knickknacks and things like that. And I'm actually trying to remember if I did show this during a previous TMG, or like at least a pickups video that was close to TMG, because there's a seller there. I feel like I might be explaining this over again, but here it is. Video Game Shadow Box. This guy's super cool. He makes video game shadow boxes. And I've got a half bathroom downstairs that I just, every year now, whether I see them at TMG or I think they were at Retro Game Con one year as well, but I keep buying at least one shadow box from them. And the previous year I told them, hey man, you've got to make a Kirby one of these, because I will then buy it. And sure enough, this year I show up, he's got the Kirby one, the famous tree boss battle, and so it was the easy $75 for me, because I had requested it the year prior. He actually did end up doing it, so easy buy. This is going in my bathroom. Very excited about that. And it is quite the bathroom to have that be on display, but I'm very proud about that. Okay, now some actual video games. So I had two options for TMG this time around, right? I didn't want to bring a ton of money because I'm just being a little bit more, we've said before, like certain things get in the way. So the budget was usually, well, it was either one big game or a bunch of small ones. Small-ish, I guess we could say. The big one would have been a complete in-box Pokemon game. You all know I'm missing 3 games now at this point. Red, Blue, Fire Red. There was a very clean Fire Red. That would have probably been most of the budget. I instead decided I will focus on games that I need for videos this holiday season, which are the launch series videos. Me and Terrell are going to be reviewing more launch systems, or PlayStation systems and their launch lineup, so that's a lot of what I ended up picking up. So, we got Vita stuff to go over, and I didn't even clean these labels yet because I literally just got home, but we have FIFA Soccer, which was $10, and I tried to price chart everything before I left to the convention. It's always good to know what the game is worth before you get there. You don't want to be price charting right there as you're, you know, visiting various different vendors and things like that. Do a little bit of research beforehand, put it in your notepad, which is what I did, so I've got the price charting value right next to my entire list. If I find the game, see their price on it, then I will know right then and there if it's, you know, too high or whatever the case is. 10, I think, was about right for FIFA Soccer. So we've got that. F1 2011, which also, by the way, every price that because I think everything is still on here, didn't pay that price because it's a convention. And I also waited till Sunday to end up buying anything. And that's always the play. Unless there's something super rare and the price is already decent on, let's say, day one, and if you're nervous that it is going to get bought up, I mean, it's all personal preference, I think, at that point. But for me, I was like, oh, I'll wait till Sunday. These guys don't want to take these games home anyway. They're looking to make deals. They're looking to get rid of this stuff. And so this was not $50. I think I paid $40 for that. I'm going to have to try and remember. Blaze Blue Continuum Shift Extend, I think, whatever this thing's called. And then Marvel vs. Capcom. This one's a little bit pricey. It was at $35. I think it was down to, I got them down to $30, which price charting might be around $25. Somewhere a little bit over, but I always try and consider that. Even if I pay a little bit over what is listed as the price charting, you know, value, you still have to consider that you're not paying taxes and shipping. So usually I try to throw taxes into the mix as well, so that's always something to be mindful of. But we got a lot of Vita stuff out of the way, which it's been a while since I bought Vita games, so it's actually great to grab these, because while I might not have ever gotten these games, because that's always a byproduct of doing the launch series, the launch game series, it just feels good to like have Vita games again and go buy some again, right? So these tiny little cute blue cases, I love it, and we have more Vita stuff to add to the collection. The other system I'm working on is PlayStation 1 long boxes. Why are we working on long boxes? Because launch, when PS1 came out, these were the launch games. This is how they came. You've seen before that I was working on the long box stuff for a little bit, and so now something I also would not have ever bought, but because of the series we're doing, Street Fighter the movie. Now this was listed as $125. This one seller had, I think, 2 different copies. One was super clean at $160. This one was a little bit, well, I would say a lot cheaper, and the price charting value on this one was, I think, around $95. So this was kind of a bulk deal that I tried to work out there, but it doesn't look bad, right? It doesn't look bad at all. It's just I'm of course going to go with the one that is that is cheaper, and so we did a bulk thing there where I picked up this game, and they also had, if I get ready to pull it out over here, NBA Jam Tournament Edition. So like another game where it's like $100. Never would have thought I needed this, but sure enough, they had both of these games. So I think the deal we worked out there for both of these was about $190, I want to say, which is still a little over where I want it to be. I offered $170. We just couldn't get there because he wasn't sure what he had in on these games. And I don't want to have some of these sellers be upside down, even though that's always a little bit of a touchy subject when it comes to game resellers. But, you know, you have agency on what you choose to buy. So if you're okay with paying it, that's what I always recommend. You know, there was a lot more long box games at TMG than I would have thought, but the issue is I just couldn't find the last 2 that I needed, because there are some other long box games in here, little spoiler alert, but I'm missing 2 more after everything here is all said and done. The other TMG pickup we got is, boom, what do you think about this? Mary Kate and Ashley Get a Clue for Game Boy Color. We gotta zoom in on this bad boy right there. So $5, easiest $5 I ever spent in my entire life. Now, Ryan, why do you have this? Well, I'll answer it for you right now. This is from the marketing director of Yacht Club Games, Celia. We are walking the floor. A long time ago, she had mentioned on Spawncast that, unironically, she loves this game. It's great, puzzle game or something. And look, I'll humor it for the time being. We're going around looking through games, thinking, yeah, we'll try and find it. I had no goddamn hope that we would actually find this, but sure enough, we do find it in a bin. And it didn't even take long, right? Like, the second we approach the bin, we just look through for maybe 10 seconds, and I just pull it out, and I look at her, and I'm like, we actually found this goddamn thing. So, yeah, $5. Easiest $5 ever spent. I will probably, actually, you know what? I'll probably start this before DS2, since I'm not entirely sure how confident it's going to hook me over Death Stranding 2. That one's on you, Celia. All right, let's open up some packages. My God, we have some good stuff here. And I know we have some good stuff because the Amazon ones, typically that means there's some new releases, right? So you better believe we got some exciting stuff in here. And, oh, there's my Lunar Remastered Collection. Yep, you're right. I was sitting on Lunar for quite a bit. And I'll tell you, folks, I had actually gotten Lunar on the very first pre-order listing for the page. I knew right away that when the physical was announced, and it was at the time only on Amazon, I believe it's on VGP, and I think that other Canadian website, or no, VGP is the Canadian website. Whatever the case is. When it initially went on Amazon, it was like late at night, got the pre-order in, and it wasn't even, like, not even a second thought. I'm like, this game's going to be going in and out of stock constantly. Don't want to risk it. Grabbed my PS4 copy right away. Since then, I had gotten it the very first listing, but it's gone in and out of stock constantly. Now it's on other retailers. But, you know, I just knew Lunar, that was going to be a thing. And what's so funny, too, is that now I saw, like, 1 billion Lunars at TMG. So everyone had, like, 1 or 2 copies of Lunar on PS1. The prices, I wasn't really paying attention. I think some of them were, like, okay. There's still a novelty to owning the PS1 copy, right? The big box version and things like that. But I'm happy to have the PS4 physical on that. So this Amazon package was one where, you know, it's not FOMO, but it was FOMO in the sense that, like, I wasn't sure how long they would print this game. Clair Obscure Expedition 33. Now, I'll tell you, it took a lot of willpower to not drop what I was playing at the time, which I'm still kind of working on it, which is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, to drop that and go pick this up right away, especially knowing that it's not quite a super huge time hog. It is like in the 50, 60 hour neighborhood if you want to try and do a good amount of stuff in this game. But it's been the talk of the town, obviously. Turn-based RPG, very different kind of game with how they're doing it with the parry system and things like that. And of course, when it blew up, a lot of copies being sold, and the initial print of the game sold out. And it was like, oh man, well, we don't see that happen too often. But it was kind of like when that did happen, it's like, oh wow, so this game is sold out for me, because I would not buy digital. I just won't do it. So I eventually got it. After, I don't know what kind of, like, at what point it was put back up on Amazon, maybe the 5th or 6th time, but it got to a point where it was like, the listing would say, like, oh, we'll ship in, like, the next month or something, but even though when I placed the order, it took, like, maybe a few days, and they ended up shipping it. So it doesn't seem like it's too bad to get a hold of it now, but, yeah, that's what we got going on. Mind you, too, I didn't pull everything out that I've picked up since we last spoke. I guess actually what I can add last minute to this, before I even open the rest of them, Mario Kart World, so I'll get on the soapbox here for a little bit as well. Switch 2, it's out, it's around, new console launch, you'll love it. I'm always a huge fan of any console launch. It's always a very exciting time for me. And it's great, too, when it's, like, something not PlayStation, because I don't have to work it, basically. So picking up my Switch 2, it just feels like a nice, fun experience where I have no pressure to make videos about it, unless it's, like, semi-adjacent to whatever we're talking about for the time being. But Mario Kart World, $80 video game, and, hey, say what you will, but what really stings in my circumstance, and I think this was similar for a lot of other people, but I had to willingly go out of my way to give Nintendo an extra $30 because they offer a base console and then a console with Mario Kart World at $500 USD. But I willingly wanted to get a base system and then pick up my physical copy of Mario Kart World. So I was in $530 basically, willingly. And that's just the game that I and many others have to play nowadays, which is spending a little bit more just to have it in my hand. But gosh, is it pleasurable to do so. All right, moving on to some more pickups here. So now we're getting into some used stuff. And I gotta feel this out, make sure I don't slash this game. This is, oh, okay, this might have been an LRG pickup, yes, LRG Warehouse. So, Pixel Ripped Dots Double Pack, very excited about this. PlayStation VR 2 required. Had my eyes on this for a long time. It's a vibe, so the Pixel Ripped series with all the old arcade games and things like that, and you can do it from a first-person perspective. So, always wanted to spend some time with this, and having it physical, you know I'm on that like shiitake mushrooms. Also, it's just, I've said before, like, there's not many PSVR 2 physicals. So when those pop up too, I do feel a little bit more inclined to pick those up versus maybe other 2D games that I still am sorely missing. Like, I still haven't picked up Silent Hill 2, for example, because I haven't played Silent Hill 2 because I don't have the time for it. When I find the time for it, then I will go and buy it. But that's still my policy. There's no sense in going out and buying the game immediately if I'm not going to play it right then and there. So, like, that is one of many recent modern games where I do not have it in the collection because I have not had the time to start playing it just yet. But I will sort of, you know, put that policy aside for certain situations. Getting something for PSVR 2, LRG print, things like that. And, you know, I might humor it in that circumstance. Next up, we have... I don't even know what the hell this is. A lot of these I forgot, which is not really a shock to anybody since we have like a 2-3 month window on these where it takes a while for this to happen. Okay, this appears to be Tron Evolution. I think it was just a really good price. eBay pickup. This is also another video series that I am slowly working towards doing at some point. I just need to source all the games for it. I won't actually reveal what that is, but... I might have mentioned it in a previous collection update. If you can pick up on the trend of other PS3 games I'm picking up, then you'll probably understand what exactly I'm going for there. So I won't say much else on Tron, but I do need it for something eventually. And this is a PS1 long box. I'm fairly certain that was they were bold enough to put this in a bubble mailer. And I think it might be the Sega Saturn CD-style case, so that might be a little bit iffy as far as this thing showing up to me in good condition. Or I could be wrong. This is nice. Oh, this is like some nice material. Good lord, it's like a newborn babe I'm holding. Okay, yes, thank you for your purchase. And Kill Leak, the DNA imperative. So here's the other like slight, I guess, regret I have is that I picked up a few of these on eBay. I always love when you get the foam. The foam's in great condition as well. This whole thing is really, really, really clean, so I'm happy about that. Let's take a look at the back, actually. We haven't really been doing that for most of these games. And God, you want to be so careful with these because you can start to warp them if you're not careful. There we go. Yeah, that is a really clean, all-black PS1 disc. There we go. We got to get the light on there. Ooh, I'm a little bit excited. That's so nice. But the slight regret came in when I saw a lot of these at TMG. So the ones that like I'd picked up on eBay prior to going to TMG, I'm like, I probably should have waited because then I would have came out a little bit cheaper on buying this stuff. But, well, what are you going to do? We got another long box here that is in a bubble mailer. Oh, no! Oh no, I see a little shard come off. Oh, this brutal economy. Oh god, let's inspect the damage. The Ralph DiMaggio here. Okay, we got Battle Arena Toshinden. Let's see. Still opens kind of clean. Yeah, it's this top corner. And this is the other thing I try to watch for with these long boxes, is I want to make sure I can get one with... Yeah, right there is where it came from. Where the hinge comes off nice and clean. You know, that might actually be... We might actually be able to salvage that. You probably super glue that. I won't mind super gluing this. I'm not above it. It's these where if it comes off, you're kind of like... It's like a done deal. So that's a shame. And this is the risk I take when I buy these and let them sit for as long as I let them sit, just so we can have that sort of, you know, pure ecstasy of opening a package on video, right? That's just what we do nowadays. So that's unfortunate. I'm well past the window of trying to get something done for this with the seller. But again, I can glue it. That's fine. Having said that, though, yeah, I saw a lot of this on a lot of these at TMG. So Toshinden is also kind of an affordable one. That's the thing too. Like I was buying the affordable ones. That's where my methodology was before I had ended up actually committing to a lot of these. So, like, the cheaper ones, I was like, I can just grab those on eBay, and then some of the pricier ones, I'll look for those at TMG. So, still, for the most part, is how we approach that. But, yeah, at least I can probably fix this, or in other cases, you can still easily replace the Saturn cases. Moving on to another boxed game here. There she is, Air Combat. So, how are we looking on this one? Nice opening hinge. Nice foam. Ooh, daddy, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing. So Air Combat as well. I wish I could say anything about these games, but the whole point is I will eventually say something about them. With Terrell as well. You know, the PS1 launch lineup is not big at all, too, by the way. So, there's only 2 games I'm missing, but we've got most of them. It's not a big list. I imagine that upload will be on the shorter side. The PS2 launch video, my God, we filmed for, that was like 3 weeks of filming. I got that. Oh, this is my copy of Megaton from Limited Rare Games. And once again, I did not get lucky enough to get a variant copy from them. So, little tangent, even though I'm breaking up my own stories here. Right when I got back from TMG, which it's like a 6-hour drive for me, so kind of a pain. And on the way home, I got drowsy, had to sleep at a rest stop. It was just a whole thing. By the time I got home, they had began the pre-order listing for like their next game, and it sold out right away because that's just kind of how it works. So I actually missed out on their next game that they're doing, and I've been up to date with most of them, but Megaton was one that the pre-order was forever ago, and I got it here. So can't tell you damn near anything about this game other than it's one of the few like sort of publishers that just, you know, shit post on Twitter and do goofy stuff, and I'll humor that and keep up with their games. But I did recently miss their most recent one because by the time I got home, I think if I gotten home on time, I probably would have seen the pre-orders go live. But I missed it, unfortunately. We got one more game here. And probably our most well-packaged game is this ESPN Extreme Games game. I already knew about the cracks, so I was fine with that. This one was fairly cheap, actually. Oh, that was nice. You always like when the sellers do that. Yeah, this one was also pretty affordable, nothing too crazy there. I actually was well aware of the condition, didn't mind that at all, especially for what is like a low-end game that I might not really care about in the grand scheme of things. But ironically, that was the nicest, the most well-packaged one, I guess we could say. All right, that is everything laid out. I think we're looking pretty good there, looking pretty clean. I hope you enjoyed another lovely collection update video. I might pop out another button here as we're exiting this upload, but yeah, it looks good. Definitely tried to stay more professional. Wanted to get the games that I needed for holiday videos. If I had just gotten Fire Red, that would have been it. I would have still had to, at some point, source these games for what we're planning on doing, and I don't know, some of these might be scheduled for like November or something like that, but I'm also still happy to have more of these games as well. So I have no problem buying Vita games or PS1 long boxes, and obviously a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh as well, because let's face it, we all need our shiny cardboard at the end of the day. At some point, the bug does get you when it comes to any sort of TCG, and I am deep in the pit, and don't help me out. Stop throwing down a rope. I don't want it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. You take it easy.